had the privilege of having a mentor for about 5 or 6 months now, and the impact she has had on my life has been so huge. So this is one of the reasons that I believe mentorship relationships are able to provide individual support along with many other positive ripple effect aspects. So today, I hope to convince you that the church should form mentorship programs for individual well-being, community connection, and genuine active discipleship. And to show you this, I will go through the problem that led me to this conclusion, the solution and its implementation, and a visualization of how this would work. So first of all, the problem. Children and young adolescents oftentimes lack mentors whom they're able to look up to and receive advice from, which impacts their self-esteem, academic performance, and spiritual development. A 2022 national survey of children's health asked a question that is paraphrased like this. Other than you or other adults in your home, is there at least one adult who knows this child well and whom they can rely on for advice or guidance? And to this question, 13.7% of the respondents said no. Now, if we're taking this as a representative population, childstat.gov says there were 50.1 million children in the age range of 6 to 17 in 2022. And if we're taking the 13.7%, that would amount to 6.8 million children who are saying they do not have access to a mentor figure in their lives. And because this was a study that asked the parents a question, that doesn't mean that the children are necessarily using that resource. Geringer and Benny in 2023 said that the current group of 18 to 21-year-olds said that only 60% of them had mentors growing up. This is 6 percentage points down from the same study when it was conducted a decade ago. But what causes this problem? Geringer and Benning listed a few. First of all, the COVID-19 pandemic, the closures, the meeting restrictions, and everything that was going on impacted mentor availability and the ability to meet with mentees. Other changes in American culture and way of life also impacted this problem. One was the growing socioeconomic equality, which basically means more people were working, which means they had less time to volunteer. Geringer and Benning also said that the increase in making sure that mentors were qualified, which is a good thing, but also limited program availability. So what is the significance of mentorship? Although mentorship rates have been lower, looking at those who are currently in mentor and mentee relationships has made it clear that there are many positive effects to mentorship relationships. Blum et al. In 2022 shared that feelings of connection are key to healthy development. And Kairoma in 2015 said, quote, mentorship provides an authentic avenue for discipleship. And this is through the imitation of the mentees, the modeling behavior of the mentors, and just the modeling and the model of walking through life together. So onto the solution. Churches should implement formal mentoring programs for church and community members to help bring about positive effects in individuals and the community. So for the plan of action is two-faceted. First of all, churches should establish programs, and secondly, they should provide support for the mentors. Now, establishing programs doesn't have to be a singular local church effort. Local churches can partner with one another, with schools, and with current community resources to do this. And of course, they should ensure that there are screenings for faith and just background checks in general, since they'd be working with children. The second part is providing mentor support. This would come in the form of providing initial training in faith, cultural awareness, communication, and any other really key skills to mentorship. And secondly, creating a support system and a support network for mentors with one another to be able to be held accountable and to support one another's emotional health. This plan addresses what research has found regarding the correlation between mentorship and youth development. Schwartz et al. In 2012 said youth with non-parental mentoring adults have higher rates of self-esteem and higher rates of academic success. where conversely, low self-esteem leads to poor mental and physical health. Schwartz et al. Also added that raising an academic self-esteem actually raises academic performance. Trzynski et al. In 2006 said also that communities with high mentorship rates lead to lower rates of poor mental health and criminal behavior. So again, they reiterated that low self-esteem leads to poor mental health, and it leads to a higher rate of criminal conviction as adults. So let's visualize this. If this plan can be successfully implemented, both individuals and communities will benefit. But first, let's look at if the plan is not implemented and what that could do. Without these stronger bonds and mentorship, individuals and communities will continue the path of distance and trust. Many youth will continue to try to navigate just growing up and other struggles that come along with it without intentional guidance. And low self-esteem can lead to identity crises, which can lead to higher vulnerability and lower academic success. In terms of community, long-term community social consequences will worsen. This will include disconnection, risky behavior, lower mental health, and higher rates of criminal behavior. But on the other hand, if this plan is to be successfully implemented, individuals and communities can benefit greatly. There will be more development in social, spiritual, and their academic lives. High self-esteem can lead to stronger academic and social skills. Mentors can guide spiritual development and give more stable identity through modeling spiritual maturity. In terms of community, the communities will become stronger and more united. Interconnected mentorships bond the community together, leading to lower rates of risky behavior, poor mental health, and criminal activities. So in conclusion, recent research has shown a downward trend of mentorship relationships and access to mentors who can guide individuals through faith, academics, identity, and self-esteem issues. My solution is church-sponsored programs that will advocate for individual well-being, community connection, and active discipleship. But a large-scale change like this will take time. In the meantime, individuals like you and me can add to this, can help fix this problem by initiating informal mentorship relationships with people who need it most. And this can be a huge impact. So who can you help?